Defense Forces have published footage of strikes on Hamas assets in the Gaza Strip. Air Force jets have used so far more than 16 tons of munitions. This is the third breaking that we are bringing to you, that the Israel Defense Forces are already retaliating. Remember, as soon as Hamas, in fact, conducted Al-Aqsa flood, it was the Israeli forces that came back with the Iron Sword movement as far as the Israeli retaliation is concerned. And the latest that we are now learning is that they have occupied parts which had already been attacked by the Palestinian militants, and they have also conducted strikes on Hamas assets in the Gaza Strip. The Air Force jets have used close to more than 16 tons of munition. For more details, let's quickly go across to Abhishek. Abhishek, give us details of how the Israeli forces are now conducting their response operation. Do take into consideration what the defense minister has to say of Israel.
So, Akansha, as much as Israeli forces were kind of caught unaware of this massive rocket attack by the Hamas side, the retaliation has been very fierce. We have been saying, and there are reports that dozens of Israeli jets have started targeting Hamas hideouts along Gaza Strip. Many people or many, high value targets from Israeli side, they have been, taken on. And now we have witnessed one of the, ugliest spat that has erupted between the two sides, with several dozens of Palestinian people invading territory where the Israeli people were living. We have seen indiscriminate firing by these people, armed men, without having any target or any military target. They have literally targeted civilians. Also, we have also seen the entire operation causing several places to burn, and that has caused a lot of panic among the Israelis. Right. We have seen that the cabinet meeting is ongoing. That will decide the later course of action, how Israel is going to cope up with the kind of failure that one can say on the front of intelligence, right, and how the retaliation will be on.
Abhishek, clearly it is a large-scale, well-planned out offensive by the Hamas at the moment that we are looking at. Having said that, is this also a kind of an intelligence failure? Because remember, several international news organizations, including those in Israel, are already raising this question if there seems to be some kind of intel failure somewhere, because it seemed like business as usual for Israel.
Well, I mean, one can always imagine if a few people or maybe a few dozen people could enter the territory through some loopholes along the border. But when you say like about 5,000, that's the number that the Hamas force leader has quoted, that 5,000 rockets were launched in a time span of less than 1 hour on Israeli territory, that kind of did not have any response from the Iron Dome, because the attack was so massive in numbers that several of these rockets actually did fall on Israeli territory, causing panic and fire and, some incidences where the civilian casualties also being reported. There are several dozens of gunmen who have entered the Israeli territory through various points of porous borders. Several positions are still interlocked. The gunfighting is on. So this looks like a very well-planned, premeditated attack on Israelis, and with the kind of intelligence that Israel boasts, that it has one of the best intelligence agencies. The soldiers are well equipped to handle any crisis situation. It looked literally caught unaware of the situation that is currently ongoing, that a massive number of infiltrators are there, a massive number of Israeli rockets, Hamas rockets have fallen on Israeli territories. People are being targeted. Civilian locations have also been targeted. So it looks like Israelis have now they have been retaliating in due response. But it did take Israeli unaware, and that is being reported, right, by across the media, and it's
right. Abhishek, I'm going to request you to continue staying with me as we keep bringing our viewers all those latest visuals that are coming in of extremely disturbing footage. In fact, we can hear explosions, there's smoke billowing out of all these places that have been bombarded by the Hamas. Remember, it was in the wee hours of the morning that the Hamas actually sent out a barrage of 5,000 rockets, as we are learning from reports. Israel's defense ministry has confirmed close to 2,500 rockets that have been fired from the Gaza Strip. Israel, of course, has been very ironclad in its response, as it seems to have attacked the Hamas back on the Hamas, on the Gaza Strip. These are visuals that we are bringing to you. As you can see, there's smoke billowing out of these buildings over here. This side, there are explosions that we can hear in the background as well. But as Abhishek was pointing out, the biggest, most surprise element over here in this attack was the fact that Israelis were caught unaware. It seemed like business as usual. It was a usual weekend when the attack took place in the wee hours of Saturday morning. On that note, let me also bring you the kind of reactions that are coming in. Remember, there's not just panic inside Israel. Israel also has several Indians stationed over there. On that note, let me quickly cut across to my colleague Aisha, who will take you through what the Indian advisory has to say.
Absolutely, and beyond that, what we also need to mention here is that it's especially significant that this is taking place today, because today is also Shabbat, it's Saturday, it's the Jewish holiday of rest, and this is when the attack has been launched. Now, let's also go through the fact that an advisory has been issued by India for those who are still in Israel. Let's read out that advisory for you. In view of the current situation in Israel, all Indian nationals are requested to remain vigilant and observe safety protocols as advised by local authorities. Remember, when it comes to the safety protocols, Israel authorities have mentioned that it's important for Israel residents to remain at home and remain close to shelters as well. Please exercise caution, avoid unnecessary movement, and stay close to safety shelters. For additional information, you can see the Israeli Home Front Command website, and there you have a link which has been also provided, or their preparedness brochure. In case of emergency, please contact us, and they've given number here, +97 235 22 6748, or you can leave a message at an email address by the MEA. The embassy personnel remain at your disposal for any further guidance. Again, what's important to note is that today is Shabbat. This is when the attack has been launched early this morning.